Hello.
Hello, Abhinash. What is your qualification?
Sir, BE Metallurgical Engineering.
Oh, very good. Which year did you complete it?
Sir, 2017.
2017. You attended only one IBPS-PO interview so
Yes, sir.
far.
Only one time, one interview. Yes, sir.
Your interview was at what time last time? When did you go?
Morning 8 o'clock.
Achha, at what time was your interview really conducted?
It was around 9 o'clock.
Very good. So you were second or third in the list?
First person to go to the panel.
First person? Oh God. How many minutes did they spend time with you?
It was around 15 minutes.
Achha. Then how many people were there in the board?
5 people, sir. One madam, and 4 sir.
Achha. Good. That's right. What were the questions they asked? Do you remember fully, or you remember
sir.
which question you tell me?
They first they asked me to introduce about myself, sir. Then they are questioning about what is bank rate.
Okay.
Then what is negotiable instrument.
Very good. Then
they asked what are the types of bank in India.
Okay.
And then I forgot to say that say the development banks. They asked specified about development banks also.
Mm-hmm. Then
Just a minute, sir. I have a note. I will check 1 minute.
you have noted it, Acha?
Yes, sir. Last.
Mm.
Just a minute, sir. I could not find that, sir. No.
No, but you said you studied Bachelor of Engineering. Which subject you said? Electronics.
Yes, sir. Yeah, no, sir. Metallurgical engineering.
Metallurgical engineering.
Metallurgy.
From which college?
PSG College of Technology, Coimbatore.
Very good. No problem. Yeah.
Sir, they asked about what will you check while giving the loans.
Okay.
And then a PLI scheme.
That is production linked insurance. Yeah.
PLI schemes.
That's a new one. Yeah.
Yes, sir. They are that is they asked. I answered about that budget, sir. PLI, product linked incentive scheme. But I don't know whether it was right or.
Product linked incentive scheme.
Yes, sir.
Product
The budget allocations.
Yeah. Now I think this year also they are going to provide some additional funds for this purpose. Yeah. Any other questions you remember? Which
That's all,
when
sir.
you
Initially, they asked about after. Tell me about yourself. They asked about gap after graduation, gap year.
What did you say?
I said I started preparing for banking from 2018, and I cleared mains the first time that year. I said, sir.
Did they not ask you why you did not clear the last 2-3 attempts?
No, sir.
They did not ask. Acha, theek hai. No problem. Then how was the climate when you came out? You came out with happy. How many marks did they give you for your interview?
Sir, it was 14, sir.
Not bad. 14. The way you are struggling and telling me the questions, they are giving 14 is a really good mark for you. But you would have missed because you have not scored very good marks over the cutoff in the written test.
Mains written test, I think.
But how many marks did you miss the selection? 3 marks, 4 marks?
3 point something, sir.
Very good. Doesn't matter. Yes, that's nice. Good. Very good. Yeah. Who has come now? Anybody else has joined now? Yeah, 2 people are coming. Yeah, Madhu and Satya. Good. Now our friend Abhilash has told about development banks. So, in fact, honestly speaking, I have worked in bank for 32 years. I am teaching for 18 years and not for 18, 20 years and all, so many things. But then the moment he said development banks, nothing came to my mind. But when I am seeing here only, I am able to see from Google, development banks means these are the various types of development banks. Small Industries Development Bank of India, Export Import Bank of India, National Bank for Agriculture and Rural Development, National Housing Bank, then Industrial Finance Corporation of India. Of course, now IDBI is no longer a development bank. It has become a commercial bank. And here they are telling what are the SIDBI, NABARD and IFCI. Which banks are a development bank? Oh, Baba, this is in terms of foreign also. AFDB, Asian Development Bank, European Bank for Reconstruction Development, European Investment Bank, Inter-American Development Bank, IFC, International Finance Corporation. But of course, this much is not required for us. They may not ask. Okay. What is the role of development banks in India? Development banks aid industrial firms in various ways, not just by providing medium and long-term loans. These banks buy the firm's bonds and debentures, underwrite their shares and debentures, and guarantee loans from local and international sources. This is what anybody else has come? No. So this is what they have given. So likewise, what you should do, candidates, you can go to Google and search India Development Bank. I am putting India because I am not in India. Otherwise, if you simply put development banks, it will give you. And below that, you will be having lot of questions. For example, here you see, which is the largest development bank? IBRD, world's largest development bank is IBRD, Industrial Bank for Reconstruction and Development. But of course, that may not be asked for you. They will ask only in respect of India. See who regulates development banks in India. At present, RBI is regulating. Likewise, you can go through the questions and try to know what are all the questions. In fact, yesterday itself, I was telling you, while reading the list of various questions I have narrated in about 3 or 4 pages, I have only given you the heading. From the heading, you will have to find out what is that, why is that, how is that, when is that, which is that, who are the people behind that. Like that, you must try to get more points regarding each and every topic I have given you yesterday. Yesterday's video, if you see, you will know about it. Okay. Here you see they are asking, what is the difference between development bank and investment banks? Investment banks are established by private investors. A development is a bank specifically established for the purpose of providing long-term financing for various development projects. This is a really tough question only what they have asked this guy, because this is not regular question. Normal interviews, what they will ask, introduction, tell me what is banking, what is savings bank, what is current account, what is priority sector loan. Then likewise, simple questions only will come here. Of course, they have taken pains to ask something really tough one also. Good. Abhilash, thank you for giving the questions. Now, this time, how have you prepared for interview? Different from what it was in the previous occasions. Abhilash, what extra thing have you started studying for preparation?
Just I went through the basics, sir. And for example, to say, they asked bank rate now, sir. For that, I have collected some data during the pandemic, and now what is the difference? Why it is higher and why it was lower at that time? Somewhat depth I have.
No, regarding bank rate, I will put questions around bank rate like this. What is bank rate? How much is present bank rate? When will bank rate be increased or bank rate be decreased by
Yes,
RBI?
last time I just said what is bank rate. I gave the current bank rate, and that's all I said, sir. Now I have prepared for why it is lower and when it will be higher and lower. Like that, I have just prepared.
Very good. Excellent. Good. That is how you have to prepare. And the next question you were asking is about, see, actually speaking, interviews, they can ask anything, like whatever is going to present, Nirmala Sitharaman is going to present tomorrow, 1st February. You must be thorough with the budget, and they will go into different aspects of the budget and they will ask questions based on that. And one such scheme is PLI scheme. Abhilash, can you read? Please read. It was introduced.
Yes, sir. It was in PLI scheme. It was introduced as a part of national policy on electronics by the IT Ministry to give incentives of 4 to 6% to electronic companies manufacturing electronic components like mobile phones, transistors, diodes, etc. The main aim of this scheme.
They asked you because you studied ECE and it is, sorry,
Sorry,
metallurgical.
Yes.
Metallurgical, but still they have asked this. Correct. Continue.
Yes.
The main aim of this scheme.
The main aim of this scheme was to invite foreign investors to set up their manufacturing units in India and also promote the local manufacturers to expand their units and generate employment. The first sector which the PLI scheme has targeted was the large scale electronics manufacturing in April 2020. And by the end of the year, that is November 2020, 10 more sectors included in food processing, telecom, electronics, textile, specialty steel, automobile, and auto components, solar voltaic modules, and white goods such as air conditioners and LEDs were also expanded under the PLI scheme. As far as the eligibility is concerned, all electronic manufacturing companies which are either Indian or have a registered unit in India will be eligible to apply for this scheme. In the Union Budget 2021, Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman mentioned the inclusion of 13 more sectors under the PLI scheme for a period of 5 years, and 1.97 lakh crore have been allocated for this scheme from the financial year 2022.
That is now outdated. It doesn't matter. Expansion. So now, like this, so many points are given. Apart from this, please read this.
About how many sectors are there and what are the allocations made in that union budget alone, last year's budget alone, I explained, sir.
Very good. You told them. Very good.
Yes, sir.
So now we have to go like this. See, also refer the links for UPSC preparation, but not UPSC. Any preparation nowadays, we have to go through this. Prime Minister Street Vendor Atma Nirbhar PM Swanidhi scheme, Stand Up India scheme, Industrial Policy in India, then Startup India scheme, Making India Manufacturing, then National Invest. Why I am not able to see? Acha. Making India Manufacturing Hub RSTB, National Investment Manufacturing Zones. But if nothing else is there, at least Startup India you must know, then Stand Up India, and invariably in many interviews they are asking this PM Swanidhi scheme. These things they are asking. So please note down, candidates. You must see in Google or in our notes and try to make out answers. But now the point is, this is nearly 1 page material, 1.5 page material. But in interview, if you can't be telling all this entire content, so what you should do, You should write one answer in 10 lines, another answer in 5 lines, depending on which anyone you can use and tell, depending on the way they are responding to your answers. So, this is what is more important. Not only this question, any question for that matter, you must have 5 lines answer, 10 lines answers with you. You can use and tell. For example, they have asked some interesting question for you about what is a negotiable instrument. See, this is actually a question normally to be asked to commerce students. But nowadays they are asking even engineers. So now supposing we ask like this, now what each one of you will be telling about it, we will see now. We will go to uh, Aryan Kukna. Aryan Kukna. Aryan Kukna, you are going for Federal Bank interview or IBPS interview. Aryan Kukna. Aryan Kukna is not able to listen. Atanu Pandey, are you able to listen to me? Atanu Pandey.
Good morning, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, Atanu Pandey. Now, can you tell me what is your degree, please?
Sir, I am a BTech from Civil Engineering.
Good. Which year did you pass out?
Sir, 2017.
Arey boy, are you working? Were you working somewhere for
Yes.
some years?
Yes, sir. I have been working. Yes, sir. I have been working for 5 years.
Achha, you are still working now.
Yes, sir.
Good. That will be a good point for you. You are working in which company?
Sir, I am working in an academy.
Oh, an academy. Good, good, good.
Yes, sir.
What are you doing in an academy?
Sir, I am the in charge of quantitative aptitude department of banking and SSC exams, sir.
Very good. Which place?
Sir, I am from Bhopal, but I am working in Noida.
Achha, you are working in Noida, and you
Yes, sir.
take classes in person or through internet.
Sir, when this banking division was started, it was from my own senior. So at that time, I used to take this quantitative aptitude classes during my initial years in companies, but then I shifted to a more management position, sir.
Mhm. Under management position, what is the role you are playing now?
Sir, I'm coordinating how many classes, which language classes should be placed, which teacher
Hmm.
should be given more prominent role, etc. Sir,
Hmm.
how many papers are to be prepared.
Mhm. There is a lot of good news, bad news about an academy that they are sending people out and all that. Who are the owners of an academy?
Sir, there are 3 co-founders, sir.
Hmm.
One is a silent partner, sir. Another is Roman Sani, who
Hmm.
was projected as the face,
Hmm.
and one other guy is there, sir. I think his surname is Khanna. I don't know.
Hmm.
Uh,
See,
he's
if
more
you
of a
tell,
management
hello,
freelancer role.
if you tell like this in interview, will they give you good marks?
I don't know, sir.
You must tell something definite. Otherwise, you don't commit yourself further. Don't go into that area.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Yeah, that is right. Now, please tell me, you have been helping people for banking as well as staff selection. But one problem in your case is, Atanu Pandey, you are not doing what you studied. You studied constructing buildings, and at least if you are supervising the work of construction of buildings, it would have been ideal. But now you are doing something totally irrelevant.
Yes, sir.
Totally not relevant. So now they can make a question on this. Why did you not try in your civil engineering that way? Doesn't matter. We will see that when you come for mark. Now, please answer me this question. What do you understand as negotiable instruments?
Sir, negotiable instruments are those instruments which are uh, accepted in the law of the land, sir, to close down deals, and which are to be accepted for financial deals, sir. Sir, I haven't revised details, sir.
Who can try this? Anybody among 7 or 8 people here? Who can try answering this? Please, is there any commerce student? Is there any, say, MBA finance student?
It's
Yeah, please tell.
sir, it is a written document that a payer agrees to pay to the payee a certain sum of the amount,
Hmm.
and it is legally binded. He is legally binded to pay that amount.
Hmm.
Something like
Good.
that.
Yeah, something like that. In interview, you must be confident about what you are speaking.
Yes, sir.
What you must be able to tell. Say, negotiable instrument means first it should be in writing. It should contain an unconditional order signed by the maker asking a certain person to pay a certain sum of money only to or to the order of a certain person. One who is making the instrument should be certain. He should sign it. He should mention pay. He should ask somebody, certain person. He should ask State Bank of India, my love, Indian Overseas Bank, Kirpak. He should ask that some particular person or company to pay a certain sum of money. That is, he should tell pay rupees 301 only, something like that. He should specify. He cannot say pay rupees 300 or 400 or 500. No, that is not negotiable instrument. And he should tell pay a certain person. You should say pay Uppuswamy or order. So that should be specific. Under these conditions, then it becomes a negotiable instrument. See, in interviews, normal people who have not studied commerce, what they can do is negotiable instrument. The example is checks, where a person is giving order to bank asking it to make payment of money to a certain person. If you tell like that, that will do. Then they will not leave you. They will ask you, can you tell some other negotiable instruments? Then you have to say bill of exchange and promissory note. Promissory note means what? Only two parties are involved. One who is making the promissory note and to whom he is giving that promissory note. For example, when you go and take loan from the bank, you will be executing a promissory note for the loan given to you, duly signed by you on revenue stamp of 1 rupee. Nowadays, we are using 1 rupee stamp. So that should be signed. And again, in the promissory note, it will be very clearly mentioned rupees in figure, rupees in words for value, how much you have received, and to whom are you promising, with what interest. Everything will be certain. See, over the revenue stamp, you will be signing, and you will be signing once again on the left side with son of or wife of, like that you will mention so that the identity is ensured. And that is what is that? Promissory note. Bill of exchange is similar to the definition I told you. Bill of exchange is instrument in writing containing an unconditional order signed by the maker, directing a certain person to pay a certain sum of money to the order of a certain person, something like that. That should be the way you have to explain about negotiable instrument. If they ask, but nowadays nobody talks about instrument negotiable and all that because um, many of us do not issue checks because wherever you have to issue check, now we are making payment through Paytm or Phone Pay or whatever it is. So there is no need for the check also. But for interview purposes, they will ask you what is a check, what is a demand draft, what is the difference between a check and a demand draft. This is a very favorite question in interviews. So you must prepare for those questions also. Now, Anybody else, any doubt that comes to your mind based on what I have talked now? Anything that comes to you? Any doubt? No, actually interview is more or less like what I can tell you. I used to normally say 50% luck, 50% merit, but I think I should change it as 60% luck, 40% merit. It all depends on what they are going to ask you at that time. Did anybody watch the video I have posted today for you yesterday, maybe regarding South Indian Bank interview? Did anybody go through that? Did anybody see that video? No. Oh, why am I posting online? It is only for you boys and girls to watch them and get to know about it. Wait for a candidate who was supposed to attend interview today morning. These are the questions. Number 1, introduce yourself briefly. Tell us about your family. Number 3, what is the specialty or important points about your native place or district? Number 4, why did you choose mathematics, civil engineering, or mechanical engineering, whatever subject you have chosen? What makes you now choose banking? What do you know about South Indian Bank? Number 7, what makes you prefer joining us instead of public sector banks? Number 8, which bank do you have an account? Tell us a few points about that. Number 9, what are the services rendered by banks? Number 11, when is the next budget, union budget to be presented? Why budgets are prepared? Number 12, tell us about deposit products of our bank. Tell us about the advances portfolio of our bank. Tell us about non-resident deposit accounts, types of features. What is mobile banking, pros and cons? What is the small finance bank sponsored by SIB? Who is the chairman of SIB, MD of SIB? Are you willing to be posted anywhere in India? What precautions one should observe while using internet banking? What are your strengths and why do you consider banking is suitable for you? Apart from this, there can be questions on, say, union ministers, then state ministers, then say about public sector banks, RRBs. Then there can be a question about, say, your hobbies and all that. Thank you. Best wishes. Yeah. Were you listening to that, boys, girls? Excuse me.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
yeah. So this is, actually this boy could not attend the interview because he says that some of his relative had operation. He is in the hospital. So I have sent the questions to him and I also talked to him. It seems that person is a Bihar boy now studying in West Bengal. So then he was asking me, sir, should I know only about Bihar or West Bengal? It all depends on luck only. Invariably, since you are from Bihar, they will ask you about Bihar only and ministers, etc. So that's how it will go. And yeah, now we will go for anybody else, any questions? Otherwise, I'll go for some other one. Yeah.
Sir, in non-scheduled bank category, which all banks are there?
What are scheduled banks?
Non-scheduled.
Non-scheduled bank. This is a very favorite question, but then only those 3 banks used to appear in Google whenever we search non-scheduled banks. If you put it, some 3 banks used to appear. Say, good morning, candidates. This is regarding South Indian Bank interview. So 1 minute. When non-scheduled bank by definition, which are not listed in the second schedule of RBI Act, they do not conform to all the criteria under clause 42 but duly following specific guidelines as laid down by RBI. Banks with a reserve capital of less than 5 lakh rupees qualify or non-scheduled bank. This definition is very, 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 very old, more than my age. Very old definition. So That of course that has got no relevance now. Here there is a question: difference between scheduled banks and non-scheduled banks. Who was asking this question? Yeah,
Lavanya, sir.
Lavanya Prakash, correct?
Yes, sir.
Lavanya Prakash is from which place?
I'm from Kerala.
Good, Kerala. Good. Kerala is a place, it has got unique in one way in respect of banking. So in the Thrissur only you have 3 banks having headquarters.
Yes, South Indian Bank, Federal
Yeah.
Bank.
No, not Federal Bank. South Indian Bank, Dhanalakshmi Bank, Catholic Syrian Bank.
Dhanalakshmi Bank.
Catholic Syrian Bank. And our Federal Bank has got headquarters in Aluva. Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Now please read this. Banking sector. Please, are you seeing on the screen or not?
Yes, sir.
Hmm.
The banking sector is an important dimension of the Indian economy. There are various aspects to its evolution and nationalization in the post-independence era. With liberalization and privatization, the banking sector has seen tremendous growth, immensely contributing to the service sector of the economy. Why are scheduled and non-scheduled banks in the news? Recently, the Reserve Bank of India has issued a license for payment banks to operate as financial entities as per its guidelines. The inclusion of payment banks as a private sector scheduled bank has been in the news. In this article, we shall be discussing.
Wait. Not only that, I think even Paytm Bank has been included as a scheduled bank. Paytm Bank. Then you have regional rural banks also included as scheduled banks. Now, please study further.
What about this Airtel payment and Jio payment banks and all?
I'm not sure whether they are. I think Airtel is included as scheduled bank, but not a Jio. I'm not sure about it. Now, please read what are scheduled banks. Yeah.
By the definition, any bank which is listed in the second schedule of the RBI Act 1934 is considered as a scheduled bank. The schedule consists of those banks which satisfy various parameters, criteria under the clause 42 of this Act. The list includes the State Bank of India and its subsidiaries like State Bank of Travancore.
Leave it. That is wrong. State Bank Travancore is no longer there now. It's not required. Probably this has been written long back. Continue. Nationalized banks.
Sorry, sir.
The list includes State Bank of India and other public sector banks, then regional rural banks, foreign banks, and some cooperative banks. You should include here regional rural banks also. And also you should include now the payment banks also. In my view, I think what is that? Paytm Payment Bank? I think Airtel Payment Bank also has been included. I'm not sure.
Sir, all small finance banks are also included in this nationalized category?
No. Not nationalized. All
not nationalized, not scheduled.
Scheduled bank, are they included under the scheduled banks? I'm really doubtful. I don't know. Yeah, I think they are in small India, small finance banks. Are they scheduled banks? I think so. Let us see. The small finance bank will be given a scheduled bank status once they commence their operations and found suitable as per they are also included under scheduled commercial banks. Now they are asking one question: is SIDBI a scheduled commercial bank? SIDBI is a public financial institution, as it does not accept deposit and it lends for longer periods. Same way they can also ask you, your NABARD, is it a scheduled commercial bank? No. NABARD is not a scheduled commercial bank. So now looking at this, you see what are the different questions they can ask. What is the difference between small finance bank and scheduled bank? Which banks are called scheduled bank in India? Which banks are non-scheduled banks in India? These are these four banks I told you now. These four banks: Coastal Local Area Bank, Capital Local Area Bank, Krishna Bhima Samruddhi Local Area Bank, Subhadra Local Area Bank. I don't know where are they. Most of them must be, say one must be in Karnataka or in Maharashtra. That is how it will be. So that is the non-scheduled bank. We were reading this. Now you come to this one. So what is your name? Lavanya. Please read.
Lavanya,
What are non-scheduled banks?
Non-scheduled banks by definition are those which are not listed in the second schedule of the RBI Act 1934. They don't conform to all the criteria under clause 42 but duly follow specific guidelines as laid down by RBI. Banks with a reserve capital of less than 5 lakh rupees qualify as non-scheduled banks. Unlike scheduled banks, they are not entitled to borrow from the Reserve Bank of India for normal banking purposes except in an emergency or abnormal circumstances. Bangalore's Bangalore City Cooperative Bank Limited, Bangalore Baroda City Cooperative Bank Limited are a few examples.
Here he is telling this, whereas our Google is telling these names. Please write down and keep it with you. Coastal Local Area Bank, Capital Local Area Bank, Krishna Bhima Samruddhi Local Area Bank, Subhadra Local Area Bank. Afterwards, you try to find out where is their headquarters. That will be helpful. Now, what are the figures of scheduled banks as per RBI? But I won't. Scheduled public sector banks 12, scheduled private sector banks 22, scheduled small finance banks now 11 plus 1, 12. Scheduled payment banks now it is 6. Scheduled regional rural banks 43. Scheduled foreign banks 46. I think this number is not wrong. This is correct, but this number is wrong. 11 should be made as 12. Then scheduled payment bank should be made as 6. Please read this. Commercial Lavanya, please read this. According to RBI.
According to the RBI, commercial banks refer to both scheduled and non-scheduled commercial banks, which are regulated under the Banking Regulation Act 1949. Commercial banks operate on a for-profit basis. They primarily engage in the acceptance of deposits and they extend loans to the public, business, and the government. Nowadays, some commercial banks are also providing housing loans on a long-term basis to individuals.
Not, I think this answer was written so many years back. But now housing has become one of the important sectors because it is included under priority sector. That is the reason. Now, very good. So I think like this, I will give this link in our Telegram page. Please go through that when you get. Yeah, very good. Anybody else? Any other doubts you have? Any questions, please?
Sir, can you tell few points on short selling?
Good question. You see, myself, my son, we were discussing about it. I have seen 3, 4, 5 videos on that. But then if you ask me what is short selling, I will tell you by referring to this. Yeah, but you see, in nutshell, which language is yours?
Sir,
what is your mother tongue?
Sir, Hindi.
Hindi. ये तो जो केप मारी वाला काम करने वाला, that is short selling. That is doing something wrong. शॉर्ट सेलिंग यही तो पॉइंट है, बट लेकिन उसको डेफिनेशन में कैसे देना अभी इधर देख लेते हैं. Is short selling allowed in India? That is, naked short selling is not permitted in the Indian securities market, and all investors would be required to mandatorily honor their obligation by delivering the securities at the time of settlement. See, in other words, short selling means selling property without you are really possessing it, and later on taking steps to reach that goal. That is what Adani Group has been doing, is that they they will start a company, bogus companies or shell companies, and the shares, majority of it will be theirs only, because Companies Act itself permits you can hold up to 75% capital with the promoter. So they will have 75% capital with them, and the balance 15% or so, again, somebody related to them or known to them. So likewise, entire control of the company will be with them only. And then what they will do, they will purchase some shares of that company, raise the value of the price of the shares. Then after raising the value of the shares, they will go to bank and borrow money from there. Again, use that money, buy some other shares. Okay, could you follow?
Yes, sir.
Short selling is defined as selling a stock, that is shares, which the seller does not own at the time of trade. Simple definition.
Yes,
समझ
sir.
गए आपको? अभी
Yes, sir.
और एक बार पढ़ो जी उसको. Please read that.
Okay. Short selling is defined as selling a stock which the seller does not own at the time of trade.
Yeah. So that is what those guys, Adanis, are not having those shares, but still they will sell it. Again, using their influence, they will borrow money from the banks and buy those shares and then give that one. Again, the atrocity has gone to such an extent that out of the 7 companies, I think yesterday I told, in 5 companies, their current ratio is less than 1, which means they don't have liquid cash to make payment of that money. And using their influence, they have made LIC invest with them 87,000 crores. So that's what it is. Yeah. Thank you. We will meet again. Thank you. Very nice. Bye. Sorry, I have to close now. Yeah.